Good morning, happy Tuesday, folks. And welcome to the month of July. Yeah, Pride Month is now officially over, and we have gone through 6 months of 2025. That's crazy. I mean, I can still vividly remember New Year's Day of this year, just writing down my list of things I wanted to do and what I was going to do. And in the 6 months since I've done that, I've not only accomplished everything I wanted to do so far, but I've added more things to that list. Partly because at the time I came up with that list in the first place, I didn't know what was going to happen. But we're here now. We're 6 months into 2025. Technically, we'd be halfway through the year tomorrow at noon, but semantics. At the end of the day, actually, it might be even Thursday at noon. I don't know. 365 divided by 2 would be, it'd be 182.6. 182.5, so yeah, it'd be roughly tomorrow, which would be the actual halfway point of the year, but since we do it in months, halfway through the year, and I gotta say that my low is, it rained a lot. Surprisingly, it rained a lot. Like, even with it being as hot as it is, you can still tell it rained last night. I mean, don't get me wrong, any chance we get rain is always a good thing, even though, let's be honest, it's heat raining. Although I will admit though, while it's my low for the fact it rained, my high is, and this is just a me thing, probably just me, but one of my all-time favorite scents is called Geosmin. 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 If you don't know what that is, that's what we refer to as the scent of rain. Like, you go outside and you smell that sort of like, it kind of smells like fresh soil, a little bit of dew, a little bit of sort of floral, earthy scent to it. That's Geosmin. I love that smell. I do. I mean, I love it in the sense like, let's be real here. Geosmin is the kind of smell where you probably aren't going to like it or you won't. And I can guarantee you no one would ever consider making that into a perfume or a cologne. I mean, it'd be cool if they did, but probably not going to happen. With that said, we are now halfway through the year, and my act of kindness was I held the door for someone yesterday, and had a pretty Monday just felt like a Monday, but that's okay, because now it's Tuesday, and I can talk about the 21st. First Week Feast happens against the 2025. You'll notice that my computer is actually kind of full. This because what I did is I actually, for once, I looked up what number guests we're on, then I pressed record. See, normally I press record, and then during the video I forget what number guests we're on. This time I looked up the number of guests we're on, then I press record. So now I'm gonna go through all this reminding stuff. I mean, doesn't really ruin the flow of the video, really. It just, for once I wanted to be a little bit better about that. So that said, who would this week's guest be? Well, there's a few ideas that come to mind. I mean, since we're in July, we're getting Superman and Fantastic Four First Steps. At some point, we should be getting one of the stars from either of those movies on Hot Ones. The one guest I know for a fact we wouldn't be getting from those movies would be Pedro Pascal, because he's been on Hot Ones before. Unfortunately, I always keep forgetting the names of the cast. I know I totally goofed on that. I'm sorry. Except in Superman, the one actor I recognize is Nicholas Hoult. Because, I mean, come on, Nicholas Hoult's awesome. He's beast. He's He was the guy from Mad. He was the what's your name? What's your name? From Mad Max Fury Road. Nicholas Hoult is awesome, and the fact that he and I have the same first name, it's pretty cool. Us Knicks need to stick together, you know. So it's probably not going to be him. That's like the one guess I can think about off the top of my head. Oh, how funny would it be if I was right? Oh, I mean, listen, whoever it is, I'm sure we're going to get a great episode regardless. But enough stalling. Let's see who the 21st First We Feast Howland's guest of 2025 is, shall we? Okay. So it's no one from those movies, but if you're someone who's my age, you would know exactly who this is. This week's Howland's guest is going to be Adam Levine. Yeah, the lead singer of Maroon 5. Actually, was he the lead singer of Maroon 5? I think he was. Yeah. So, what? Sorry, my allergies are acting up. I'm getting all teary-eyed. But, yeah, man, Adam Levine on Hot Ones. And you know what? Honestly, I think it was about time. To my knowledge, I can barely think of anyone who's been a judge on The Voice, or a coach on The Voice, who's been on Hot Ones. Niall has. I shouldn't say that Niall Horan was. That's really about it. I mean, yeah, to my knowledge, I think Niall Horan's been the only coach who's ever been on The Voice who's been on Hot Ones before. I mean, if you want to count spouses, I mean, Chrissy Teigen was. You know, she's John Legend's wife. John Legend hasn't been on Hot Ones yet. Yeah. No one from... Yeah, I think this... Hold on. Yeah. I really can't think of anyone except Niall Horan that's been a coach on The Voice that's also been on Hot Ones. So, yeah. Adam Levine, this makes Adam Levine the second person to do so. That's pretty cool. I mean, listen, actually, you know what? I do have one story that I've never shared before that has to do with Adam Levine's band Maroon 5. I know I've talked about this in the past, but one of the most devastating memories I have throughout my entire high school career was not getting into concert choir, which is like the good choir that, you know, only really good singers are allowed in. And it wasn't just the fact I didn't get in. It was the reasoning for why I didn't get in. More importantly, the people who got in over me. Let's start with the latter. Okay. If a person does choir, pretty obvious, they have a better shot at getting into concert choir than most others. If they're already in the choir, they have a shot at getting over most others. If a person does both choir and band, they're still doing choir, they should be in. But there were band people, exclusively band people. Not once did any of them set foot inside that choir room and they get in over me. That is easily and these are the kind of band people that are so incredibly snooty, pretentious. Like, you can literally see their heads swell at the sign of them being given a compliment. Like, ugh. And the reason I didn't get in was because I wasn't mature enough. When they're playing people in that choir, they're really talking about when they're going to be smoking weed again. This is back when weed was illegal, of course. So, yeah. needless to say, that quite literally pissed me off. I mean, while it did eventually allow me to become the best singer in Horseheads by the time I graduated, I probably could have achieved that without having to go through not making concert choir my sophomore year. I'm just saying. Actually, I know for a fact I could have achieved that, but whatever. Yeah, I'm so bothered by that. Freaking band people getting over me? That's absurd. Anyway, so my sophomore year, this was the year to prove everyone that, yeah, I should be in that choir. Granted, I did eventually get into the choir, but during my sophomore year, I was in the Acapellas, which is our acapella group I mentioned the other day, and we were doing She Will Be Loved by Maroon 5, Adam Levine's band. And I actually got the solo. That was the first time I ever, well, technically it was the first time I auditioned for a solo, but that was the first time I got it. And I'm ready to go, we're going to do this, and for whatever reason, we wind up not performing it. So quite literally the one moment that will make everyone say, okay, this guy should have been in concert choir all along, doesn't happen. I sadly wouldn't get to do a solo like that again until Pops later that year, when I did Grow Old With You from The Wedding Singer. I know that song by heart easily. And ever since the whole She Will Be Loved incident, where I just mentioned a second ago, every time I hear that song, I can't help but be filled with a little bit of regret of what could have been. And that's not to say, I did sort of get an opportunity to sing that song to a girl later, a few weeks later. I just kind of wish it was on a big crowd with a bunch of people. So I did get a little bit of closure there, but there's always going to be that, damn it, I really should have gotten to sing that song. But regardless, for the most part, I've moved past it. At some point, I do need to confront my old choir teacher about not putting me in concert choir when he really should have. That's really I'll put it this way. I was so mad I didn't get in concert choir my sophomore year that if the next year, given everything I did, I still don't get in, that guy was going to be my first. I was going to drop my very first F-bomb on him. Yeah, this is back at a time where I didn't swear. That guy was going to be given my first F-bomb. I am not kidding. Oh, good Lord. I had everything. I was going to march in, yell right in his face, F you, you don't know what you're doing, you're only doing this because you're playing favorite. I had a whole speech prepared. But thankfully the guy put me in concert choir, even though I should have been there the first time to begin with. And, yeah. Although it is kind of poetic justice that he conveniently loses tenure shortly afterwards, and he got fired. Whatever. I'm sure he's living a good life wherever he is. Anyway, sorry to get a little bit emotional there. But you know what? That's in the past. Whether I like it or not. I can move on. Honestly, with Adam Levine on Hot Ones, I'm really excited. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of questions about Maroon 5. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of questions about his solo career and him being a coach on The Voice, again, after taking a bit of a hiatus from it. I'm sure there's going to be questions about, the creative process, the creative flow that comes with, writing a new song. And I'm excited. It's just kind of, I've seen Adam Levine get a lot of flack, particularly from Todd in the Shadows. in terms of his music, I mean, I don't really find his music to be that bad. I mean, listen, here's the thing. Adam Levine is a guy that writes good music, but he's also kind of easy to make fun of too. So I kind of get it. I mean, I personally never made fun of him, but I get it. But regardless, I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of his haters that are going to watch Hot Ones just to see him suffer. I'm sure that's going to be the case. Well, I'm absolutely positive that he's going to crush it. Of course he will. I mean, he's Adam Levine. I'll say this about Adam Levine. He is actually one of my musical inspirations when it came to embracing the fact that I am a tenor. Full stop. Years ago, I really used to be ashamed of my voice. Granted, this is before I hit puberty. And if you think my voice is loud now, you should have heard it back then. I was always really ashamed of it. People made fun of it. I mean, granted, they were really covering up for other things, but I'll get to that in December. Point is, I really grew ashamed of my voice. Like, I tried to become a baritone or a bass just to avoid it, but ironically, it was that choir teacher who didn't put me in concert choir who said I really should embrace the fact that I have a high voice and use it. And in learning She Will Be Loved by Maroon 5, I wouldn't realize it then, but I had a sense of this is what my voice is and this is what I should do with it. So yeah, thank you, Adam Levine. I can't wait to see what happens. Hope you like this video. Like this on YouTube channel, on social media. As always, I'm your home news video for you guys watching Joe Video. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. Remember, from the news, what talk shows, review, take care, make good choices. 607 all day, baby.